All right, so we'll just get started in about 2 minutes. All you need is a map and yourself and an open mind. And we'll be starting today on our backs, so you can just find a comfortable position on your back. You still have about a minute or so before we begin, but what I recommend is for you to lay in Shavasana and to just let the body kind of completely collapse onto the ground. And then also, I don't have enough space on this side. I'd like to invite you, if you want, to do Goalpost Arms, which means just bringing the elbows kind of like a cactus along your side and pointing the fingertips forward or upwards. And in this way, you have a bit of a chest opening. So a lot of us have been in computers and doing a lot of rounding and being on our phones. And so I really want to go against the habitual rounding that we do or have recently been doing. So looks like we have about a minute left before getting started. All right, so let's just get started now. So find a comfortable position on your back. Once again, you can just stay in Shavasana or you can take cactus arms with your arms alongside your body with the fingertips pointing upward. And just begin to close the eyes and let go of any tension in the body, any physical tension, any mental tension, any emotional tension. And just lay on the mat, allowing yourself to feel completely supported by the ground. Maybe close the eyes and then start to focus on your breath without changing it just yet. Just start to breathe and notice how your breath is today. Notice the quality of your breath. Notice if you're breathing deeply or shallow, or your breath feels nice and deep, or if it feels like you can't breathe completely. And just notice that. A lot of what yoga is about awareness. So start to bring awareness into the body and start to bring the awareness inward. And now as you breathe, I invite you to take your three-part yogic breath, in which you, as you breathe in, you expand the belly, you expand the ribs, and you expand the chest. And as you exhale, you soften through the chest, through the ribs, and through the belly. So as you inhale, expand the belly, expand the ribs, expand the chest. And as you exhale, soften through the chest, through the ribs, and through the belly. And I'd like for you to think about holding on to this breath throughout practice. A lot of what yoga is not only awareness, but how we react to things. And there are a lot of changes happening in the world right now, and while we can't control a lot of situations that are happening, one of the things that yoga teaches us is how to react or respond to the different things that are going around us, some of which we have control over and some of which we don't. Now, if you'd like to connect with your breath a little bit deeper, you can cross your fingers through, which is called a heart protective mudra, and just place it over your chest. And just let the weight of your hands kind of sink into your chest. And as you breathe, and as you expand through the belly, and expand through the chest, and expand through the ribs, maybe feel how your heart kind of opens through the hands, and your hands kind of get to hold your chest. This is also a great way to connect with your heart, in addition to connecting with your breath. And now, I invite you to maybe think about an intention or dedication for your class today. It doesn't have to be anything complicated, and it's always completely optional. But something that I've tried to bring, or an intention that I tried to bring into the map, usually is to breathe. It means that despite any pose that I'm in, whether I'm resting or actively engaged in the pose, I won't forget about my breath. Now, if you do decide to set an intention or a dedication, sealing it in with a deep breath in through your nose, and as you exhale, just sigh it out of your mouth. We'll do 2 more breaths just like that. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and as you exhale, sigh it out of your mouth. Release. Final time, taking a deep breath in through your nose, and as you exhale, sigh it out of the mouth. Begin to open the eyes, and as you do, start to hug the knees into the chest, and just bring gentle movement side to side. Gently rocking the hips side to side, massaging the lower spine. Now, coming to stillness in the center, open your arms out as a T. Take a deep inhale in through your nose, and as you exhale, drop the knees over to the right, taking a supine twist. Now, notice that as you do this, that the left shoulder doesn't lift off the mat. And if it does, ease out of the twist just a little bit more so that the left shoulder grounds. And now you can keep the neck neutral, or you can start to look over the left shoulder. And just breathe. On your next inhale, draw the knees back in towards the center. Maybe readjust just a little bit. Now take a deep inhale in through your nose. And as you exhale, drop the knees over to the other side, letting them fall over towards the left, being mindful of that right shoulder. So if the right shoulder starts to lift, ease out of that twist just a little bit so that that right shoulder stays grounded. And you can keep the neck neutral, looking straight up, or you can start to look over your right shoulder. And bring the cervical spine into the twist. And just breathe. Try to bring some softness into this twist. So as you breathe, still keeping that three-part yogic breath, expanding through the belly, expanding through the ribs, and expanding through the chest, and then softening as you exhale. Now take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, bring the knees back towards center. Now from here, we're going to make our way to a seated cross-legged position. You can either rock back and forth along your spine, taking a couple rocks back and forth to eventually make your way to a seated pose, or you can roll over to one side and press your way to seated. Now, when you come to a seated pose, make sure that you're grounding through the sit bones and that you're sitting directly on there. And you'll bring your hands to your knees. So I'm turning to look at you, but you can face forward on your mat. So, now as you take a deep breath in, just for a moment, close the eyes and ground in your Sukhasana, or your easy pose. Now, take a deep breath in through your nose, and as you exhale, release, open through the eyes. As you inhale, reach your arms up overhead, noting that the shoulder should drop as you reach your arms up. And now, take a deep inhale in through your nose, and as you exhale, plant the left hand alongside the left hip and start to take a side bend over towards the left, making sure that the shoulders stay stacked. And now you can keep the neck neutral here. You can start to look up at the arm, but try to find some comfort in this pose. We'll be here for one more breath, breathing deeply and intentionally. Now on your next inhale, come back up towards center, and as you exhale, just fold the arms up. Take a deep inhale in through your nose, and as you exhale, plant the right hand alongside the right hip and start to take a side bend over towards the right. And again, you can keep the neck neutral here, or you can start to look up if you'd like. But make sure to keep the neck in a comfortable position where you're not straining. We're looking for comfort in our poses. And on your next inhale, let's come back up towards the center, reach both arms up overhead, and then from here we're just going to roll forward onto our hands and knees. So we want the shoulders above the wrists, and we want the knees below the hips. And from here, just find some gentle movement, maybe shifting the hips side to side, shifting yourself back and forth. But find some movement that feels good and intuitive in the body. Maybe for a couple more breaths. And now coming to stillness, we're going to go through some cat-cows. So as you inhale, drop the belly, arch the spine, reach the chin up and reach the chest through. And then as you exhale, round the spine, pressing into the hands, tucking the chin down. Inhale, drop the belly, arch the spine, look up. And then as you exhale, round. We'll do that 3 more times. Inhale, moving. Try to articulate each of the spine or the vertebra as you move through these movements. And as you exhale, still rounding through the spine, connecting our breath with our movement. As you inhale, dropping the belly, arching the spine, reaching the chin slightly up. And as you exhale, pressing into the hands, rounding through the spine. Final time here, inhaling, reaching the chest forward. And then as you exhale, round the spine. And now coming to neutral, bring the toes to touch behind the body and shift the hips back towards the heels, coming into a child's pose. We'll make this an active child's pose, so reaching the fingertips forward, forehead down. So I'm keeping my head up so that you can hear me. But you want the forehead down towards the mat, and you want the hips to reach as far down towards the heels as possible. You want the forearms lifting off of the mat. And you want to find a sense of ease in your child's pose. Now, at any time throughout practice, feel free to come to a child's pose if you need to rest or to come to a pose of ease to recover for a bit. Now, let's shift forward onto our hands and knees. And we're just going to step the right foot between our hands, coming into a low lunge. Now, let's bring our hands towards our knee, and for a moment, just press into that knee, that right knee in front of you, to find some alignment here. And we want to make sure that that right knee is above the right ankle. And we can bring our hands to our hips to make sure that we have the right alignment. So we want to make sure that the right hip is drawing back and the left hip is forward. Now as you inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, bring your hands towards your heart. Now from here, we're going to take a twist. So take a deep breath in through your nose, and then as you exhale, start to gently turn over towards the right. Now, you can stay upright just in this twist, or you can start to bring the left elbow towards the right knee. If you'd like to deepen the twist just a little bit more. Whichever option you choose, making sure to once again still keep that deep breath. So breathing in through the belly, expanding through the ribs, expanding through the chest, and softening as you release. Now here you can keep the neck neutral, or you can start to look over the right shoulder. If you would prefer to do an open twist, you can open the arms to either side, kind of making a T with your arms. We'll be here for one more breath. And then on your next inhale, let's come back towards the center. We're going to plant our hands on either side of the right foot. Now leave the left hand planted and start to reach the right arm up overhead. And the arm should be directly up, both shoulders stacked, and it should be like you're trying to make a T with your hand in the ceiling. So the fingertips are reaching directly up. You're not opening more or any less, just directly straight up overhead vertically. We'll be here for one more breath in. And then as you exhale, plant the right hand alongside the right foot and just gently step the foot back to meet the left. And just shift the hips side to side to release. And we'll do that on the other side. So, step the left foot between the hands, setting up for a low lunge once again, and we'll just bring our hands to our knees. Making sure once again to have this knee to ankle alignment. So we want to make sure that the knee is directly above the ankle. And then we will want to bring our hands towards our hips to make sure that we're not shifting the left hip forward and the right hip back. We want them more or less in line with each other. Now, once you have found that alignment, bring your hands up overhead on an inhale, and then as you exhale, bring your hands towards your heart. Now we're going to take that twist once again, so take a deep breath in through your nose, and as you exhale, start to turn over towards the left-hand side. Taking that twist, still keeping the drawing of the left hip back and the right hip forward. Now you can stay upright, or you can start to draw the right elbow towards the left knee, but I'm going to stay upright. Again, you can stay here, or you get a little bit more compressed one, or you can also take an open arm twist if you'd like. We'll be here for one more breath. And then as you exhale, start to turn over once again. And then we're going to plant both hands alongside the left foot, keeping the right hand planted. Start to reach the left arm up overhead. Once again, directly straight up. Trying to make a T with your fingertips in the ceiling. You can keep the neck neutral, meaning looking straight towards the side. You can start to look up. But remember, we're not looking to strain the neck here, so find a position that's comfortable for you. We'll take one final breath in here, and then as you exhale, we'll bring that hand down to frame the left foot, and we'll just step the left foot back, and just shift the hips side to side to release. From here, we're going to step the left foot back, followed by the right, coming into a plank pose. And we want to make sure that the shoulders are directly above the wrists. And we want the heels above the balls of the feet. We really want to be pressing into the hands so that we're pushing the floor away and that we're actively lifting. And just breathe in your plank. Feeling the strength of your core and feeling the strength of your body, holding yourself in more or less a straight line. We'll take one final breath in your plank. And then as you exhale, shift the hips up and back, coming to downward facing dog. And as you come into your downward facing dog, pedal through the feet. Just start to wake up through the hamstrings, through the calves, through the Achilles. And you can also nod the head yes, nod the head no. Just starting to release and let go of the tension in the body. Now coming to stillness, start to walk your hands back in towards the back of the mat, coming to a forward fold. Now once you make your way to a forward fold, maybe you clasp your elbows and shift yourself side to side. Maybe you want to be in stillness. And it's fine to have a generous bend in the knees here. It's still early in the practice. We don't want to just jam the legs to straight. And then if you're clasping your elbows, maybe take the opposite cross now and still sway yourself side to side. Now coming to stillness, let the hands dangle down towards the mat, let the crown of the head relax. As you inhale, bring your hands towards your shins, extending the crown of the head forward, coming to a flat spine. And then as you exhale, fold. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, bring your hands towards your shins, coming to a flat spine. And then as you exhale, fold. Final time. Inhale, coming to a flat spine. And then as you exhale, fold. Now this time, start to roll up to standing. Taking your time, articulating each vertebra as you make your way up. The head and shoulders will be the last thing to roll up when you make your way to standing. And now, set up your mountain pose. So we want the feet to be about hips width distance. We want the arms alongside the body with the palms facing forward. And we'll flow through some half sun salutations to bring some warmth and movement into the body. So as you inhale, reach your arms up overhead, maybe palms touch. And then as you exhale, begin to fold, hinging all the way down, hinging through the hips. Now as you inhale, bring your hands towards your shins, extending the crown of the head forward. And as you exhale, fold. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, bring your hands towards your heart and alongside the body. We'll do that 2 more times. So inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Hastasana. And then as you exhale, fold all the way down with a flat spine. Inhale, bring your hands towards your shins, extending the crown of the head forward. And then as you exhale, fold. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, bring your hands towards your heart and alongside your body. Final time here. As you inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, fold. Inhale, bring your hands towards your shins, coming towards a flat spine. And then as you exhale, fold. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, bring your hands towards your heart and alongside the body. I'm going to go back towards the back of the mat. So as you inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, we'll fold all the way down. Now bend the knees as much as you need to plant the hands on the mat and slowly walk your way towards a plank pose. Once again, making sure that the shoulders are directly above the wrists, and we want to make sure that the heels are above the balls of the feet. From here, we're going to drop the knees, make sure that the arm creases are facing forward or the elbow creases are facing forward, and then start to bring the body down, keeping the elbows alongside the body, taking your Ardha Chaturanga or your half push-up. As you inhale, keeping the palms alongside the chest, press into the hands, and open up to a cobra. And as you exhale, fold. We'll go through a cobra a couple more times. So inhale, pressing through the hands, lifting the chest up, keeping the neck neutral. And then exhale, fold. Final time. Inhale, pressing through the hands, bringing the chest up. And then as you exhale, fold. From here, we're going to shift our way back into child's pose. Bringing our hips towards our heels. We want the knees wide, so I want this to be a wide child's pose. From here, start to walk your hands over to the right, taking a side bend. Still in your child's pose, we want to make sure that that left hip is grounded. Still keeping the forehead grounded as well. Now let's walk the hands back towards the center of the mat and over towards the right, keeping the head grounded. We want to make sure that that right hip is grounded as we do the side bend. And now let's walk the hands back towards the center. Shift yourself forward into your hands and knees. Curl the toes under and lift yourself back up to downward facing dog. Once again, pedal through the feet if you need to release. Maybe shift forward to plank to measure out your downward facing dog. Now, coming to stillness, we're going to reach the right leg directly behind us, coming to your three-legged dog. And we want to make sure that that foot is flexed, the toes are pointed down, and your hips are in line with each other. Take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, you're going to step that right foot between the hands, coming into a low lunge. Now, we're going to make our way to a high crescent lunge. So as you inhale, start to reach your arms up overhead, and as you do, as you exhale, bring your hands towards your hips. So we're going to focus on our alignment here a bit. So we want to make sure that that right knee is above the right ankle. We want to make sure that right hip is drawing back and that left hip is drawing forward. And just breathe here for a minute. Begin to notice the sensations in your body and start to draw awareness into your legs and into your arms. As you inhale, reach your arms up overhead, and then as you exhale, bring your hands toward your heart. From here, we're going to take that twist. So take a deep breath in through your nose, and as you exhale, start to shift over towards the right. Now you can stay lifted in your high crescent lunge twist, or you can start to bring the left elbow towards the right knee. If you decide to stay upright, you can also open your arms out towards the side. You can keep yourself looking forward. You can look towards the right, or you can look back towards that right palm if you'd like, or over the right shoulder. But try to find a place of focus, so a point of focus that you can look at to remain in balance. And if you find yourself wobbling in here, draw the inner thighs together. It should be kind of like you're trying to squeeze a watermelon between your thighs. We'll take one more breath in here, and then as you exhale, we'll come back up towards the center. We'll take one deep breath in here, and then as we exhale, we'll plant that left heel down, setting up for warrior two. So we want to heel to arch alignment. We still want the right knee above the right ankle, and we'll extend our arms out towards either side of the body. Now we want to make sure we're not reaching too far forward or too far back. We want the shoulders above the wrists. And just breathe in your warrior two. Now as you inhale, straighten through the legs, reach both arms up, and then as you exhale, bend back into your warrior two. We'll do that a couple more times. So inhale, straightening through the leg, reaching your arms up, and then exhale, fold back down. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead, and then as you exhale, come back down. Final time, inhaling, reaching up, and then as you exhale, back into your warrior two. From here, we're going to flip the front palm and begin to reverse the warrior. Reaching that left hand alongside the left leg, so on the thigh or on the calf, but not on the knee. We don't want to put lateral pressure on the knee. And we want to make sure that we keep that bend in that right leg. And just breathe in your reverse warrior. Now, on your next inhale, come back up to warrior two. And as you exhale, bring the right forearm towards your right thigh. And we're just going to reach the left arm straight up and overhead. Now, make sure that this right arm isn't a weight-bearing joint. So we don't want to put all of our weight on this right arm. We want to make sure that we're still lifted, using the strength of our obliques to lift ourselves here. So you should be able to move this arm without moving too much. Now take a deep breath in and start to reach that arm alongside the ear with the palm facing down. If you'd like to test your oblique strength a little bit more, you can kind of let that arm dangle. We'll be here for one more breath. And then as you exhale, come back up to warrior two. And we're just going to flow through these movements for a couple of breaths. So as you inhale, reverse your warrior. And then as you exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Still, keeping that gentle bend in that knee. Inhale, reverse your warrior. The only thing shifting here is the torso. And then exhale, extended side angle. Final time, reverse your warrior. And then as you exhale, come towards extended side angle. Now this time, reverse your warrior and straighten through the front leg. Taking a full body stretch from the tips of your right toes all the way to your fingertips. And then come to straight arms and straight legs. Bring both feet to parallel. Now you can bring your hands towards your hips, behind your back, clasping them, or just alongside the body. I'm going to keep my hands on the hips. So as you inhale, reach the chest up. And then as you exhale, start to fold. Taking a wide leg forward, fold to release. And then here, just find some gentle movement that feels intuitive to you. So you can shift the hips side to side. You can just reach towards the ankles or towards the feet, towards the calves, towards the thighs. But we want the crown of the head more or less downwards. You can also take twists, planting one arm and reaching the other overhead. But find some movement that feels good to you here. Now, it might help to turn the toes in, the heels out. That gives you a little bit more space in your wide leg forward fold. And now bring the hands below the shoulders, and as you inhale, press into the hands, coming into a flat spine. And then as you exhale, fold. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, pressing into the hands, coming to a flat spine. And then as you exhale, fold. Final time, pressing into the hands, extending the crown of the head forward. And then as you exhale, fold. And now we're going to walk our hands over towards the right to frame the right foot, coming into a low lunge. From here, we're going to step the right leg back, coming into a plank. And as you exhale, you'll drop the knees. We'll take a deep breath in, make sure that the elbow creases are facing forward. And then as you exhale, start to shift the chest down towards the mat. As you inhale, lift the chest forward, coming into a cobra. And then as you exhale, shift yourself back to downward facing dog. And once again, pedal out through the feet to release. And we'll take 3 deep breaths in here. Maybe make those deep expansive breaths where you can release through the mouth. So taking a deep inhale in through your nose and sighing it out of the mouth. 2 more, taking a deep breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, sighing it out. Final breath in through the nose. And exhaling, sighing it out. Now, if you're not in downward facing dog, meet us in downward facing dog. We're going to start to lift the left leg straight up and back behind us, coming into a 3-legged dog. We once again want that foot flex, and we want the toes pointed down. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and then as you exhale, we're going to step this left foot between the hands, coming into a low lunge, once again setting up for high crescent lunge. On an inhale, make your way to high crescent lunge. And then as you exhale, bring your hands towards your hips. We're going to focus on our alignment once again. So we want that left knee above the left ankle. We want to make sure that we're pressing into that back foot. We want to be on the ball of the back foot. Now, as you bring your hands towards your hips, make sure that you're drawing the left hip back and the right hip forward. Now, as you inhale, bring your arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, bring your hands towards your heart. Take a deep inhale in. And then as you exhale, start to turn over towards the left. Taking that twist once again. Now, you can stay upright or you can start to draw the right elbow towards the left knee. If you'd like to deepen the twist just a little bit more. You can also take an open arm twist here. And just breathe in your twist. We'll be here for a couple more breaths. And then on your next inhale, come back towards the center. And then take a deep breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, you're going to plant that right heel and come to warrior 2 once again. And I'll turn the other way so that I can look at the camera. So left foot forward. And we want to make sure that we have a heel to arch alignment here once again. We want that left knee above the left ankle. We want the arms to either side of the body. And we want to make sure we're not reaching too far back or too far forward. Now as you inhale, straighten through the leg, reach the arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, back into your warrior 2. 2 more times, inhaling up. And exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reaching the arms up overhead. And then exhale, warrior 2. Now, flip the front palm. We're going to reverse the warrior once again. So letting the arm go alongside the right leg. And just breathe in your reverse warrior. Taking a full body side stretch here. Now as you inhale, come back into warrior 2. And as you exhale, place that left forearm on the left thigh and reach that right arm straight up overhead for your extended side angle. Now, take a deep breath in through your nose, and then as you exhale, bring that palm alongside the ear, so the bicep alongside the ear with the palm facing down. Just breathe in your extended side angle. Once again, we want to make sure that this left shoulder is not a weight-bearing joint, so not leaning into this elbow too much. And now we'll flow through those movements once again. So as you inhale, reverse your warrior. The legs stay the same. And then as you exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse the warrior. And then exhale, extended side angle. One more time, reverse your warrior. And then as you exhale, come back into extended side angle. And now, as you inhale, reverse your warrior, straightening through the front leg, taking a full body side stretch on the left-hand side, and then come back to straight arms and straight legs. Bring both feet to parallel once again, and then bring your hands towards your hips or behind your back or alongside your body. Take a deep breath in, puffing the chest up, and then as you exhale, fold, reaching yourself all the way down once again to your wide leg forward fold. And then once again, find some movement here. You can bend into one leg and the other. So all folds are restorative. So try to find something in this pose that's restorative to you. If for you that means staying in stillness, that's totally fine. If for some of you that means finding movement, then find some movement that feels good to you. You can also clasp your elbows and sway side to side. There's many options in wide leg forward folds. Now coming to stillness, we'll bring the hands below the shoulders, and as you inhale, reach the crown of the head up, pressing into the hands, and then as you exhale, you'll fold. We'll do that 2 more times, inhaling the crown of the head forward, and then as you exhale, you'll fold. Final time, reach the crown of the head forward, and then as you exhale, fold. And now we're going to walk our hands over towards the left to frame the left foot. From here, we're going to step the left foot back into our plank, and we're going to drop our knees. We're going to take a deep breath in through your nose, and then as you exhale, bend through the elbows, bringing the chest all the way down for your chaturanga. As you inhale, press into the hands, reaching the chest forward for your cobra pose, and then as you exhale, shift yourself back to downward facing dog. Just breathe. We'll be here for 3 breaths. Now, we're going to start to walk the feet towards our hands, taking as many steps as you need to make it there. Come into a forward fold at the top of the mat. And then once you make it there, just release the crown of the head down. Now as you inhale, bring your hands towards your shins, reaching the crown of the head forward, and then as you exhale, you'll fold. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead, and then as you exhale, bring your hands towards your heart. Now, I want to work on a balanced pose, so I'm going to turn to look at you. So we're going to come to a mountain pose, so we want the feet about hips width distance. We want the arms alongside the body. And for now, shift the weight over towards the left foot and start to bring the right foot up about hip height. We want that foot flexed, so we want it active. And you can bring your hands towards your heart or keep them on your hips. Now from here, just gently open the hip over towards the right. Now, your options for tree are, you can take a kickstand along the ankle, you can put it on your calf, the foot on the calf, or you can bring the foot all the way up to your thigh. But we never want to put it on the knee because the knee doesn't take any lateral pressure. So those are your 3 options. And then once you found your choice, bring your hands either to your heart, alongside the body, to the hips. Find a point of focus in front of you where you can kind of just look, a non-moving point to focus on, to find your balance. Now if you'd like to test your balance a little bit more, you can reach your arms up overhead. You can also close the eyes and start to look upwards. And if you start to fall out of the pose, that's totally fine. Catch your breath, and then gently make your way back into the pose. We'll be here for maybe 2 more breaths. Feeling the strength of the tree, grounding through the foot, pressing evenly through the right foot and the left thigh. And now, as you inhale, bring that right leg back in front of us. And then as you exhale, you're going to straighten through the leg, and then just gently drop it down keeping the leg straight. And then we'll place it alongside the left foot and just shake it out. Maybe bring the arms alongside the body and sway side to side to release. And we'll do that on the other side. So, coming to stillness once again, in our mountain pose. I'm going to shift the weight a little bit more towards the right and start to bring that left foot up about hip height. I'm going to bring my hands towards my hips to make sure that my hips are in line with each other. Now from here, the same options. You can create a kickstand with that left foot. You can come to a calf. You can come to the upper and inner thigh. But please make sure not to put it on that knee. You don't want any lateral pressure on that knee. And then once again, find a non-moving focus or point of focus to find your balance. And remember to breathe. Once again, if you'd like to test your balance, you can reach your arms up overhead. You can close through the eyes. You can also look up. If you happen to fall out of the pose, that's fine. Just take your time to come back. And now let's draw that left foot forward. And then as you exhale, straighten through the leg, and then gently, slowly place it down alongside the left foot, and just release. And now you should be at the top of the mat, so I shifted towards the middle of the mat, just to give myself a little bit of focus for you. So, as you inhale, you reach your arms up overhead, and then as you exhale, you'll start to sit down into a chair, coming into a chair pose. Now from here, you're just going to reach the arms straight in front of you, and you're just going to gently make your way towards a seat. So using your hands eventually to make your way onto the bottom of the mat, sitting, and you're just going to extend the legs straight on the mat. From here, we're just going to take a forward fold. So make sure that you're sitting on your sit bones. Both legs are directly in front of you. We want to flex through the feet here, and we'll bring our hands to either side of the hips to press into those hands to make sure we have a straight spine. Now take a deep breath in through your nose, and then as you exhale, start to walk the fingertips forward, taking a Paschimottanasana, or a forward fold here. And we want to make sure that we're not rounding through the spine. The moment we start to round, we lose the opening of the hamstring. So keep an open chest, and that might mean you don't reach for the toes. That might mean your hands are a little bit further back, and that's totally fine. We're looking for action behind the hamstrings here. We'll be here for one more breath. And then on your next inhale, come back up, stacking the spine above the hips. From here, we're going to extend the fingertips forward, and then we're going to slowly roll back onto our backs. Taking our time, using our core to make our way onto our backs. And once you settle the shoulders onto the mat, hug the knees into the chest, and shift the hips side to side, rock side to side. We're going to start class, or end class the way we started it, so bringing the knees towards the center. We're going to open our arms out as a T, and we're going to drop the legs over towards the right-hand side, being mindful once again of that left shoulder. So we want that left shoulder grounded on the mat, and if it's not, shift yourself a little bit out with that twist. And you can keep the neck neutral, looking straight up, or you can start to look over the left shoulder if you'd like to bring the cervical spine into this twist, the supine twist. Now on your next inhale, draw the knees back in towards the center, and then just readjust for a bit. We'll take a deep breath in through our nose, and then as you exhale, you'll drop the knees over towards the left-hand side. And then once again, you can keep the neck neutral, or you can start to look over the right arm, over the right shoulder. And once again, we want to make sure that right shoulder is grounded. So if you need to ease out of the twist a little bit, ease out to make sure that both of your shoulders are grounded. Now on your next inhale, draw the knees back in towards the center. Just give yourself a squeeze, hugging the knees into the chest, maybe taking a happy baby, grabbing the inner or outer soles of the feet, making sure that the sacrum stays grounded, drawing the knees towards our inner thighs, or our knees towards our armpits. You can sway side to side, go straight into one leg or the other. And now, before we make our way to Shavasana, maybe think about any final movements that you'd like to take before making your way to your final resting pose. Eventually, we'll straighten one leg, and then the other. We'll reach our arms alongside the body with the palms facing up, and let go of the ankles, let go of the body, and let go of any tension, let go of the breath. And we'll come to Shavasana. And we'll just be. Now start to awaken through the body, and draw the knees in towards the chest, and we'll shift over towards our right hand side, coming to a fetal position. We pose at new beginnings. It's a moment to kind of bring some awareness into our practice and to notice the effects of our practice. Now, using as little effort as possible, press into the hands, make your way to a seated pose on the mat, keeping the eyes closed, draw the hands towards your heart. Now take a deep breath in through your nose, and as you exhale, drop the chin down towards the chest, bowing to yourself and to others that may not necessarily be around you, but may be practicing with you, for sharing their practices with you. Now, bring the thumbs towards the third eye, the space above and between the brow, seat of intuition in the body, and home of the light that lives inside of me and you and every other person. We'll take a deep breath in through our nose, and then as you exhale, you'll bring your hands back towards your heart, you'll open through the eyes, and then I'll end class with Namaste. Thank you for making time to come to class with me. My name is Angel. It was 45 minutes of yoga. It's a gentle practice, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a great rest of your week.